coming up. It is rare, it is beautiful. So let's get into the unboxing and I'll show you guys the newest addition to my Burberry Prorsum Autumn Winter 2012 family. I am so excited! Today we're stepping back into a truly iconic moment in Burberry's history, the Autumn Winter 2012 Prorsum Runway collection designed by none other than Christopher Bailey. Now, Bailey was the creative director who really redefined Burberry for a new generation. He was always balancing heritage and modernity, taking the true DNA of the house, rooted in trench coats and British weather, and giving it a fresh urban edge, and Autumn Winter 2012 was one of the best examples of that vision. The overarching theme of this collection was very much town and country. Bailey tapped into the romance of the English countryside, think heritage tweeds, quilted jackets, velvet trims, corduroy, even quilted lap blankets draped over arms, but he didn't stop there. No. He reimagined those rural elements through a modern lens, pairing them with sculpted trenches, cinched waists, dramatic peplums, and pencil skirts with wide belts. The result was a collection that felt rooted in tradition, but made for the city. And the runway itself told a story. Models walked under a simulated rain shower, umbrellas in hand, which was such a brilliant nod to Burberry's origins as a house built on weatherproof function. But in Bailey's hands, it became more than practical. It became theater. That mix of romance, drama, and heritage gave this collection an energy that we still talk about to this day. One of the most unforgettable aspects was, of course, the animal motifs. We saw embroidered owls perched upon sweaters. We saw foxes and hounds and ducks on clutches. Now, these touches were whimsical and cheeky, but yet still incredibly luxurious. These pieces quickly became cult favorites, cementing Autumn Winter 2012 as one of those Burberry collections that collectors still chase a decade later, myself included. Now, looking back, Autumn Winter 2012 also captured the spirit of fashion for that era. It was a time when designers were reaching back into heritage but making it feel relevant and exciting for a new generation. Where some brands leaned heavily into logos and minimalism, Bailey gave us storytelling, texture, and a clear sense of place. He reminded us that fashion can be both nostalgic and forward-thinking all at the same time. Now, if you've been following my channel for any amount of time, then you already know that I have two very special clutches from this collection in my own archive. The Alma clutch. I have both the hound and the quilted fox clutch. Now, both of these pieces perfectly embody the countryside storytelling that Bailey loved, but with that elevated runway polish that made them instant icons. They're proof that accessories from this show weren't just handbags, they were little pieces of fashion history. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, I am beyond excited to share that I have added yet another piece from this lineup to my collection. It is rare, it is beautiful, and it ties directly into that town and country spirit that made Autumn Winter 2012 so unforgettable. So let's get into the unboxing and I'll show you guys the newest addition to my Burberry Prorsum Autumn Winter 2012 family. I am so excited! So seriously, this collection has taken me years to perfect. I have been searching, seeking, trying to find the absolute perfect pieces to add to my collection, and it all started when I very first started this channel over 5 years ago, which sounds absolutely insane to say, with the Alma Fox Clutch. Now with these pieces, guys, these were all made in Italy. If you remember Burberry Prorsum, this was like top tier Burberry. This was the absolute creme de la creme, the best of the best, and Christopher Bailey delivered each and every time with these collections. Now with my very first one, this is the black quilted Alma clutch, and sadly, I do not carry this as much as I should. In fact, I need to move them into my other bag closet so I see them more, especially during the autumn-winter season this year. But with this piece, this one has the quilted black Napa leather. It is so smooth, trimmed in black suede. These big, chunky zipper pulls are so dramatic and over the top. And of course, this one has the little fox head here on the front. Now with these animal appliques that are attached to the front of the clutches and the orchard bag and the barrel bag, these were all made using the lost wax method. So what they do is they sculpt a piece of wax into what the end shape should be. They press it into some sand, and then within that sand, they pour the metal, and out comes the mold. This is actually incredibly common with a lot of silver plate pieces and just other different metal pieces like this. I love this clutch. This is one of those forever pieces that will never, ever leave my collection. And after a couple of years, I was able to add a second clutch. Now this one is absolutely stunning. This is the Hound clutch from the same Autumn Winter Prorsum collection. And with this, you have the Hound. It almost looks like a door knocker, right? You've got the two rings up atop and the bottom, and it's done in this nice grainy nubuck and trimmed again in, of course, the most lush suede. Dramatic big gold hardware. This also came in several different colorways. If you're lucky enough, you could have the teal with the owl. I think purple with the owl. There's like a nice ox bloody purple, kind of eggplant color with the duck on the front. And then of course the fox, I think it's on green and a red version as well, like a reddish orange. These pieces are incredibly rare. There is even jewelry from this collection that I am desperately seeking. Rings, brooches, matching umbrellas. This collection was so over the top. So when I finally found this piece, I'd actually been watching on eBay for quite a while, and it came from a viewer. So if you're watching this, hello. It was so nice to connect with you and share our love for this absolutely fabulous collection and Christopher Bailey himself, the man, the myth, the legend. And I've made you guys wait long enough. So let's dive into this dust bag, and I'm going to tell you all about it because this, guys, is one of the most fabulous bags in my collection. And as you can see, got some pretty strong contenders back here in the back. So without further ado, truth be told, I bought this about a month ago and I haven't looked at it since because I want this to be authentic, my excitement, my surprise. But I was able to get my hands on, from the Autumn-Winter 2012 Runway collection, the striped large orchard bag in the green and brown colorway. It is so fabulous. If you know me and my personal style through and through, then you know this is a Caleb bag 100. This is my aesthetic. This is my absolute holy grail, one of them, Burberry bags, and I cannot believe I have one in my collection. And it was even sweeter that it came from a viewer who also shared the same obsession with this beautiful, expensive stuff that we all love. So with this is, like I said, the large orchard bag from the Burberry Autumn-Winter Runway collection of 2012. And this originally retailed back in the day. I literally pulled up the Wayback Machine. On October 30th, this was retailing for $2,195. 13 years ago. I know I say this each and every time, but give me a time machine so we can go back to those prices, right, you guys? Because that is absolutely insane. A bag like this, with this quality, made in Italy, beautiful gold hardware and all the details, easily $3,000-$4,000 on today's market, which is absolutely insanity. But with this bag, it is exactly what it looks like. This is the large orchard. There are no exterior pockets on the front or the back, but the bottom does have 4 beautiful conical gold feet and these big iconic Burberry Prorsum zipper pulls. Now, the seller was very apologetic. They were like, I don't have the original dust bag, but they must have found it because tucked in the bottom of the bag, I found the original Burberry Prorsum dust bag from that year. And guys, I love when bags come with all these little extras. And this even came with the original paperwork from when they themselves purchased it on eBay, so I had the authentication, the little card that this comes with. If you haven't yet, start checking out eBay. But with this, guys, I am just over the moon. This is a piece, like I said, I've been searching for years, quite literally. And with this one, the seller had it listed at such a great price, I literally could not say no. In fact, I think I ended up buying it because I was buying something else that fell through, or I don't really remember, but it was one of those bags that like my husband knew not to say no, which is very smart of him. And I'm so glad he didn't, because this piece is going to be right at home in my little collection. Now, if you're interested in adding one of these to your collection, I'm going to do a little bit of a mod shot for you in case you're a 6'7" man and want to see what it looks like. Or if you're interested in adding one and you want to know what fits in this bag, which trust me, this big boy is massive. It makes my Birkin 35 look absolutely teeny tiny. I'm going to show you what fits. We're going to do a tiny little mini review. And then guys, we're going to wrap up because I need to start looking for more Burberry Prorsum Autumn Winter 2012 to add to my collection. Now, obviously this bag is huge and can fit just about anything you need it to, but let me show you just a few of the things that I carry on a day-to-day basis so that way you can kind of gauge if this is going to be the right bag for you. Now, there's tons of organization with zippered pockets and slip pockets, but I really don't use those a lot on a day-to-day basis. Now, this is my MacBook, and of course, this bag's huge. It's going to fall right in and leave me with a ton of space. Now, I don't carry a laptop on a regular basis, so we're going to throw that out, and let me show you what I do carry. First up, Louis Vuitton Poche Toilette 15. Toss it right in. And then my sunglasses. So obviously this bag is going to have a ton of room left over, which is great for when you're out shopping. You can throw in your purchases, super easy. A little bit of Daniel Lee Burberry. This is the Shield card case. And now Riccardo Tisci Burberry. This is the Lola quilted small wallet. I honestly forget I have that one from time to time, but the color works, so we're gonna go with it. These are my wired Apple headphones. Don't ask, I've been in a whole analog phase lately. But I also have my Bang & Olufsen headphones still in this Coach Mini Skinny. Now next up, this is my Coach pill case. It still has a little bit of suede dust on it from my Guy Bear bag a couple of weeks ago. Of course, I need my measuring tape for when I'm out shopping for antiques. Now we have my Prada 6-key holder. This is just in the Tessuto nylon. That thing wears like a tank. Next up, we have another Coach Mini Skinny. This one just has a few odds and ends and a bag hook. And that's about all I carry on a regular basis. Why I need such a big bag beats me. Well, it's because of my height. I'm 6'7". You get the idea. Now let's dress this up with a Daniel Lee for Burberry bag charm. This is the whimsical tail charm. It's made out of shearling and it's just kind of a fun addition to the perfect fall bag. Get ready for some fall vibes. At 6'7", you can see how the proportions of the large orchard really work. It doesn't get lost on me even with these brown corduroys and my roll neck sweater with ducks from LL Bean. The orchard was Bailey's answer to a modern structured carry-all, clean lines, rounded silhouette, and that perfect mix of town and country that defined autumn-winter 2012. It's practical, it's polished, it's so Burberry. Now that is the Burberry Prorsum Autumn-Winter 2012 Orchard bag in a nutshell, and guys, I cannot be happier. This piece is absolutely stunning. It is right at home in my collection, and we have some lunch plans this weekend, so I might either drag this out or maybe my hound clutch for the occasion. I mean, you can see like this collection was just sublime. It was so over the top in luxe. I guess if you missed it, you just had to be there because guys, this collection is just, it lives in my head rent free. For Burberry Prorsum, I think, well, Burberry in general, anything Christopher Bailey era is top tier. I love what Daniel Lee has tried to do over at the house, but with like, you know, answering to shareholders and whatnot, the economy, things aren't looking so good over at Burberry for the moment, but Christopher Bailey just personifies everything that Burberry is. He gave us a modern Burberry that was still rooted in tradition, and he gave us a lot of classics like my new large orchard bag. Let me know down in the comments, do you collect Christopher Bailey Burberry? What pieces do you have in your collection? Like, I'm sure everyone in the community would be interested to know, like if we found each other, the Christopher Bailey fanatics, if you will. Let's sound off in the comments and let me know what you think of my new orchard bag. Have you had an orchard bag? Is that something you want to add to your collection? Hopefully my review helped you a little bit in making your decision. And until next time, guys, stay safe, have fun. I'm gonna go style my new orchard bag, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.